Good evening, fuckers. We are back once again with the ill behaviour, and for this one, we are back on the Midlands Main Line network, which, yeah, we've not been here for a few videos. And very specifically, we are on a part of the Midland Main Line that has not appeared in one of these videos yet. So we are going to be starting in Derby, and our destination is Matlock. It's not a huge journey by any stretch. It's not even 18 miles, but it is the Derwent Valley line, and that is specifically why I've chosen this particular route. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've not driven this route before, so yeah, this is very much a first for me. And for the loco, or the train I should say, well, I've gone for one which has appeared before, but it was a while ago. So we are in the class 57, or as I like to call them, the 47/10. But it is the rail tour specific one, so yeah, it is a passenger service, and yeah, 9 Mark 1 coaches. Class 57 will have no problem shifting 9 Mark 1 coaches, believe me. Right, and as for the specifics, it is summer, it is completely clear weather, and it is midday. So perfect time for a rail tours train to get underway. Speaking of which, let's do precisely that. And here we are. Right, first things first, let's get the master key in and set the reverser. Right, let's get the lighting sorted out. So we definitely want instrument lights on. We'll have the cab lights on because it is a bit dull in here. And let's get the yeah, lighting set to day. So let's take a look. Here is our class 57. I do really love this sort of burgundy claret sort of colour, you know, the livery on the rail tours trains. And our rake of, yep, 9 Mark 1 carriages. In fact, let's let everyone on board, or as I suspect is more likely to be, let a few people off. So Matlock, yeah, is only 17.13 miles, so it is a fairly short journey, but I have a sneaking feeling this route is not straightforward. So I have a couple of other trains here in Derby Station. That looks very much like a class 170. That one there looks like a 220. Actually no, that's 5, so that's a 221. Anyway, enough of that. We are all set. Let's get the brakes off. I don't think we can do anything with the radio. Nope. Right, brakes have run down. Let's get underway. So the class 57, basically a very heavily modified class 47, and it was modified with one role very much in mind, and that was freight runs. And that is one of the reasons why, if we look up here, max speed 75 mph, which is down on the max speed of the class 47 that had a max speed of 90. But yeah, the gear ratios on the 57 were set much lower, so it had all of the power in the low end, so it could pull some really hefty amounts of freight. And as a result, yeah, its top speed was impacted by that. So we leave Derby. I have a feeling this 60 mph section which we are on, I think there is a very good chance, okay, I was about to say a very good chance of this being the fastest we'll do on this entire run, and then this 110 appears on the route display. Well, there's certainly no way in hell we are going to be doing 110 mph. But we will certainly see how fast we can go. We are now on the 110 mph section, so yeah, we'll give it the full beans. I'll also add that we will stop at every station. I've no idea how many there are, let alone know which ones they are. It is also entirely possible that we'll be put on avoiding lines going through stations, so you can't rule out the possibility that we may not have any stops at all. Well, given how short this run is going to be, I am rather hoping that there will be some. Given that the class 57 is one of, well, a fair few locos that I tend to just completely forget about. It's not that I deliberately ignore them, I do just genuinely forget all about the things. They are really great, really good locos. And this thing is doing extremely well. So this must be the Derwent Valley that we are on. And we have our first station, Duffield, coming up. Now it is a long old way to Duffield. I mean, it's still well over a mile, but I don't know how good the brakes are on this thing. So this is effectively my brake test, coming in to stop at this station. I think it's fair to say it's passed the brake test. It's, yeah, brakes are doing really well. Brakes on locomotives, rather like the acceleration rates and that, certainly don't compare to multiple units. What we got coming up here, it looks like a class 60. It is a class 60. That's a long old rake of whatever those freight wagons are. We need to start braking a lot more heavily than we are. There's also no way in hell we're getting all of the carriages on this station. So we'll get as many as we can, but yeah, it's not going to be very many. So yeah, it's just over 5. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that anybody in the rear 4 carriages are here for the yeah, the full length trip. They are certainly not going to be getting off early, whether they like it or not. Anyway, this is Duffield station. All done, right. So let's see if we can get out of here without the significant amounts of wheel slip that we had at Derby. I felt sure we were going to get wheel slip there. We are getting it there. The wheel slip protection on this thing is far from impressive. Jesus. again once we pass 25. Yeah, I think we are all right. Yep. How dark it is in this cab, and it's with the cab lighting on. Well, Belper station coming up, our next stop. Do still have quite a bit of FPS loss. A lot of assets being rendered, even in what is probably a fairly small town like Belper. So again, no chance at all of getting the whole train on this station. So we got just about 5. So, yeah, here we are at Belper. I mean, it certainly looks like a nice enough place. There you go. So again, we start the rather slow process of pulling away from here, and we cannot go above 50% on the throttle until we are somewhere in the region of 25 mph. So Matlock is now just over 9 miles away. So this route was more to show the Derwent Valley rather than, you know, showing a particularly long intercity route, which is a good job because it certainly isn't going to be a long intercity route. Okay, we're able to get it up to 63, but I'm sure we're not getting it up any higher. I do like the detail of the newspaper that slides across the yeah, the cab. I think we're all right for max throttle now. Yeah. I don't know if that is the Derwent River. We do follow it for, well, certainly a lot of this run, may even be the whole of it. So max speed comes down to 80 mph, which is not going to affect us in any way. That 15 certainly will. Ambergate, which is clearly an extremely small station. So goes another 221. I don't actually mind it being slow here, considering that, yeah, it is such a short run. So we're fine for the 15 mph section. So we are sort of changing line over the points here. So the Derwent River again. I suspect this line we're on is the only one of these lines You know, not these two here on the right. That actually stops at Ambergate Station. Yeah, in fact those other two lines have disappeared into a tunnel somewhere. So yeah, this is a really small station. So yeah, maybe 3.5 carriages, that's it. Definitely a station that is better suited to Class 153s, I think, than Class 57 rail tours. So, on we go. I cannot think of a single reason why they couldn't have utilised this platform at Ambergate Station there. This clearly looks like there was a line here that has now long gone. That went off that direction. We are still in a 25 mph section. We'll definitely need to throttle down at some point. Yeah, because, whoa, Jesus, that was close. You're only just entering the 50 mph zone. Of course, we have 9 carriages that also need to pass that point. There we are. It could well be that that section when we left Derby actually wasn't the Derwent Valley line, but now this certainly is. So We have what Stanwell station coming up next. Yet another very small one. Here is, yeah, Wat Stanwell station. Again, very, very small. This is absolutely a line that, yeah, is suitable for, say, the old 121 bubble cars and the 153s. You know, the modern equivalent of. So yeah, the first 4 carriages again. Oh, it's a beautifully scenic route again, but yeah, I've taken completely the wrong train for this for this run. I am glad that I went with this one. This particular consist though, this is the shortest. I mean, granted, I only had the choice of 2, but yeah, this was the shortest by a long way. The other one had 12 carriages and the additional loco on the back of it. So yeah, I would have been pulling 13 of that one. Go up one more notch. Yes, we can. Not really worth going up any more than this though. Our acceleration rate is good. We're still in a 40 zone. 50 on is coming up, but yeah, we're not there yet. So we're now entering it. Across to Derwent again. So we are now in the 50 zone. So Cromford Station is our next stop. This must surely be the penultimate stop. Matlock is less than 3 miles away. Bet your life that's rugby league they're playing there, not the proper game. So it's now 1 in 177 uphill. Well, by the standards of this run, I don't think well, actually, yeah, by the standards of this run, that is fairly steep, but it shouldn't cause us any problems. So Matlock Bath is the next station, so we do actually have a one more station between here and Matlock. There was quite an interesting speed limit change at Matlock Bath station. It looked like our maximum speed was 93,580. I don't think we're going to quite make it to that sort of speed. Five coaches made it onto the platform here. This is by some margin the largest station we have made, we have been to so far, well, since we left Derby. So we're only 1.8 miles from Matlock now, but amazingly we still have, including Matlock, 2 stations. This 1 in 177 uphill section, plus this train really sort of straining to shift these 9 coaches from standstill. I thought we would have no problem, but no, it doesn't seem to like it too much. So I think if I notch up, I think we're going to get wheel slip again. No, we haven't. It's very surprising. But I'm pretty sure we will if I notch up again. Yep. So, okay, so it's not 900, or it's not 93,850, but that does really look like it's saying 938. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to reach that sort of speed either. In fact, I mean, I have no idea what speed that is supposed to be telling us there. See, there it does look like, yeah, 93,850. That's there, but then if you need to stop at the station, yeah, I think you're going to get a bit of a whiplash with that stop. Okay, so it's 10 mph, not 938, so there you go, bang goes my perfect run. See, I think I already had speeding errors, and of course I had all these problems with the wheel slip as well, so yeah, it was never going to be a perfect run, this. So again, 3.5 carriages getting onto this platform. Well, why couldn't they just remove that fence and use all of that? Apart from the fact that, yeah, it's highly unlikely they would ever really need to. I mean, the station looks great, no doubt about that. I mean, it does look like a nice area, as so many of these stations do. Okay, so onwards to what must surely be the final station, onwards to Matlock. I'm amazed we're not wheel slipping there. We are speeding, even though it says, yeah, that we're in a 50 mph zone. Unless we've just left that 10 mph zone. It's the only thing I can think of. Can we go up to 75 now? No. We can now, but yeah, we really don't have very long to go before we are having to start braking again. get ourselves down to 15. And we are certainly not going to get all of the train onto the platform at Matlock, because yeah, again, it is quite small. This tunnel and this route were very clearly originally for 2 lines. Now, yeah, they put a stop on the other line there. So we're obviously going to go way past it, but I want to get the final carriages, these final 3 coaches, onto the platform. There we are. So there we go. Yeah, Matlock Station is around there somewhere. So that was Derby to Matlock via the Derwent Valley line in a Class 57 Rail Tours train, which was clearly totally unsuitable for the run. But then I had no idea what I was letting myself in for. I knew it was going to be short, but yeah, that was all I knew. Fantastically scenic route again. Really was nice. And it was a good route to drive, but yeah, could have done with a more suitable train. In fact, really, there weren't that many instances that had me thinking that I could have chosen something less suitable than the one I was in. So, operational errors, 2 speeding errors, yeah, plenty of wheel slip. So yeah, great line, but the Class 57 not the ideal train to use on this particular run. So there we go. That brings this video very much to an end, and we will see you at the next one.